Love Songs by Robert Browning and Elizabeth Barrett Browning. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Song from Dramatic Lyrics by Robert Browning. Nay, but you, who do not love her, is she not pure gold, my mistress? Holds earth aught, speak truth, above her? Aught like this tress, see, and this tress, and this last fairest tress of all, so fair, see, ere I let it fall. Because you spend your lives in praising, to praise you search the wide world over. Then why not witness, calmly gazing, if earth holds aught, speak truth, above her? Above this tress and this I touch, but cannot praise, I love so much. End of poem. Read by Alan Mapstone. In a Year by Robert Browning. Read for LibriVox.org by Alan Mapstone. Never any more while I live need I hope to see his face as before. Once his love grown chill, mine may strive. Bitterly we re-embrace, single still. Was it something said, something done, vexed him? Was it a touch of hand, a turn of head? Strange, that very way love begun, I as little understand love's decay. When I sewed or drew, I recall how he looked as if I sung, sweetly too. If I spoke a word, first of all up his cheek the colour sprung, then he heard. Sitting by my side at my feet, so he breathed but ere I breathed, satisfied. I too at love's brim touched the sweet. I would die if death bequeathed sweet to him. Speak, I love thee best, he exclaimed. Let thy love my own foretell, I confessed. Clasp my heart on thine, now unblamed, since upon thy soul as well hangeth mine. Was it wrong to own being truth? Why should all the giving prove his alone? I had wealth and ease, beauty, youth. Since my lover gave me love, I gave these. That was all I meant, to be just, and the passion I had raised to content. Since he chose to change gold for dust, if I gave him what he praised, was it strange? Would he loved me yet, on and on, while I found some way undreamed, paid my debt? Gave more life and more, till all gone, he should smile, she never seemed mine before. What she felt the while must I think, love so different with us men, he should smile, dying for my sake, white and pink. Can't we touch these bubbles then, but they break? Dear, the pang is brief, do thy part, have thy pleasure. How perplexed grows belief! Well, this cold clay clod was man's heart. crumble it, and what comes next? Is it God? End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. Magical Nature by Robert Browning. Read for LibriVox.org by Alan Mapstone. Flower I never fancied, jewel I profess you. Bright I see and soft I feel the outside of a flower, save but glow inside, and jewel I should guess you, dim to sight and rough to touch. The glory is the dower. You, forsooth, a flower? Nay, my love, a jewel. Jewel at no mercy of a moment in your prime. Time may fray the flower face, kind be time or cruel. Jewel, from each facet flash your laugh at time. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Life in a Love by Robert Browning, read for LibriVox.org. Escape me? Never. Beloved, while I am I and you are you, so long as the world contains us both, me the loving and you the loth, while the one eludes, must the other pursue. My life is a fault at last, I fear. It seems too much like a fate indeed. Though I do my best, I shall scarce succeed. But what if I fail of my purpose here? It is but to keep the nerves at strain, to dry one's eyes, and laugh at a fall, and baffled get up and begin again. So the chase takes up one's life, that's all. While look but once from your farthest bound at me so deep in the dusk and dark. No sooner the old hope goes to ground than a new one, straight to the self-same mark, I shape me, ever removed. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Meeting at Night, from Dramatic Lyrics by Robert Browning, read for LibriVox.org by Bruce Kachuk. 1. The grey sea, and the long black land, and the yellow half-moon large and low, and the startled little waves that leap in fiery ringlets from their sleep, as I gain the cove with pushing prow, and quench its speed i' the slushy sand. 2. Then a mile of warm sea-scented beach, 3 fields to cross till a farm appears, a tap at the pane, the quick sharp scratch and blue spurt of a lighted match, and a voice less loud through its joys and fears than the 2 hearts beating, each to each. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Women and Roses by Robert Browning, read for LibriVox.org. I dream of a red rose tree, and which of its roses 3 is the dearest rose to me? Round and round like a dance of snow, in a dazzling drift as its guardians go, floating the women faded for ages, sculptured in stone on the poet's pages. Then follow women fresh and gay, living and loving and loved today. Last in the rare flee the multitude of maidens, beauties yet unborn, and all at one cadence they circle their rose on my rose tree. Dear rose, thy term is reached, thy leaf hangs loose and bleached, bees pass it unimpeached. Stay then, stoop, since I cannot climb, you great shapes of the antique time. How shall I fix you, fire you, freeze you, break my heart at your feet to please you? Oh, to possess and be possessed, hearts that beat 'neath each pallid breast. Once but of love, the poesy, the passion, drink but once and die. In vain the same fashion, they circle their rose on my rose tree. Dear rose, thy joy is undimmed, thy cup is ruby rimmed, thy cup's heart nectar brimmed. Deep as drops from a statue's plinth, the bee sucked in by the hyacinth. So will I bury me while burning, quench like him at a plunge my yearning. Eyes in your eyes, lips on your lips, fold me fast where the cincture slips. Prison all my soul in eternities of pleasure. Girdle me for once, but no, the old measure. They circle their rose on my rose tree. Dear rose without a thorn, thy buds the babe unborn, first streak of a new morn. Wings, lend wings for the cold, the clear. What is far conquers what is near. Roses will bloom, nor want beholders, sprung from the dust where our flesh moulders. What shall arrive with the cycle's change? A novel grace and a beauty strange. I will make an Eve, be the artist that began her, shaped her to his mind, alas, in like manner they circle their rose on my rose tree. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. A Woman's Last Word by Robert Browning, read for LibriVox.org. Let's contend no more, love, strive nor weep, all be as before, love, only sleep. What so wild as words are? I and thou in debate as birds are, hawk and bow. See the creatures talking while we speak, hush and hide the talking, cheek on cheek. What so false as truth is, false to thee? Where the serpent's tooth is, shun the tree. Where the apple reddens, never pry, lest we lose our Edens, even I. Be a god and hold me with a charm, be a man and fold me with thine arm. Teach me, only teach, love, as I ought, I will speak thy speech, love, think thy thought. Meet if thou require it, both demands, laying flesh and spirit in thy hands. That shall be tomorrow, not tonight. I must bury sorrow out of sight, must a little weep, love, foolish me, and so fall asleep, love, loved by thee. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
From the Two Poets of Croisic by Robert Browning, read for LibriVox.org by Larry Wilson. Selection 1. Such a starved bank of moss till that May morn, blue ran the flash across, violets were born. 2. Sky, what a scowl of cloud, till near and far ray on ray split the shroud, splendid a star. 3. World, how it walled about life with disgrace, till God's own smile came out. That was thy face. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Love Among the Ruins by Robert Browning, read for LibriVox.org. Where the quiet-coloured end of evening smiles, miles and miles, on the solitary pastures, where our sheep, half asleep, tinkle homeward through the twilight, stray or stop, as they crop, was the sight once of a city great and gay, so they say, of our country's very capital, its prince, ages since, held his court in, gathered councils, wielding far peace or war. Now, the country does not even boast a tree, as you see, to distinguish slopes of verdure, certain rills from the hills, intersect and give a name to, else they run into one, where the domed and daring palace shot its spires up like fires, o'er the 100-gated circuit of a wall, bounding all, made of marble, men might march on, nor be pressed 12 abreast. And such plenty and perfection, sea of grass, never was, such a carpet as this summer time o'erspreads and embeds every vestige of the city, guest alone, stock or stone, where a multitude of men breathed joy and woe long ago. Lust of glory pricked their hearts up, dread of shame struck them dame, and that glory and that shame alike the gold bought and sold. Now the single little turret that remains on the plains, by the caper overrooted, by the gourd overscored, while the patching house leaks, head of blossom winks through the chinks, marks the basement whence a tower in ancient time sprang sublime. And a burning ring all round the chariots traced as they raced, and the monarch and his minions and his dames viewed the games. And I know, while thus the quiet-coloured eve smiles to leave, to their folding all our many tinkling fleece in such peace, and the slopes and rills in undistinguished grey melt away, that a girl with eager eyes and yellow hair waits me there, in the turret whence the charioteers caught soul for the goal, when the king looked where she looks now, breathless, dumb, till I come. But he looked upon the city every side, far and wide, all the mountains topped with temples, all the glades, colonnades, all the causeys, bridges, aqueducts, and then all the men. When I do come, she will not speak, she will stand, either hand on my shoulder, give her eyes the first embrace of my face, ere we rush, ere we extinguish sight and speech, each on each. In 1 year they sent 1,000,000 fighters forth, south and north, and they built their gods a brazen pillar high as the sky, yet reserved 1,000 chariots in full force, gold of course. O heart, O blood that freezes, blood that burns, earth's returns, for whole centuries of folly, noise and sin, shut them in. With their triumphs and their glories and the rest, love is best. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. Any Wife to Any Husband by Robert Browning, read for LibriVox.org. My love, this is the bitterest, that thou who art all truth, and who dost love me now, as thine eyes say, as thy voice breaks to say, shouldst love so truly, and couldst love me still, a whole long life through, had but love its will, would death that leads me from thee brook delay? I have but to be by thee, and thy hand will never let mine go, nor heart withstand the beating of my heart to reach its place. When shall I look for thee and feel thee gone? When cry for the old comfort and find none? Never, I know. Thy soul is in thy face. Oh, I should fade. 'Tis willed so. Might I save, gladly I would, whatever beauty gave. Joy to thy sense, for that was precious too. It is not to be granted, but the soul whence the love comes, all ravage leaves that whole. Vainly the flesh fades, soul makes all things new. It would not be because my eye grew dim, thou couldst not find the love there, thanks to him, who never is dishonored in the spark he gave us from his fire of fires, and bade remember whence it sprang, nor be afraid while that burns on, though all the rest grow dark. So how thou wouldst be perfect, white and clean, outside as inside, soul and soul's domain alike, this body given to show it by. O 3 parts through the worst of life's abyss, what plaudits from the next world after this? Couldst thou repeat a stroke and gain the sky? And is it not the bitterer to think that disengage our hands and thou wilt sink, although thy love was love in very deed? I know that nature, pass a festive day, thou dost not throw its relic flower away, nor bid its music's loitering echoes speed. Thou lett'st the stranger's glove lie where it fell, If all things remain all things, all is well. For thou art grateful, as becomes man best. And hadst thou only heard me play one tune, or viewed me from a window not so soon, with thee would such things fade, as with the rest. I seem to see, we meet and part. 'Tis brief. The book I opened keeps the folded leaf. The very chair I sat on breaks the rank. That is a portrait of me on the wall. 3 lines. My face comes at so slight a call. And for all this, one little hour to thank. But now, because the hour through years was fixed, because our inmost beings met and mixed, because thou once hast loved me, wilt thou dare say to thy soul, and who may list beside, therefore she is immortally my bride. Chance cannot change my love, nor time impair. So what if in the dusk of life that's left, I, a tired traveller, of my sun bereft, look from my path when mimicking the same, the firefly glimpses past me, come and gone. Where was it till the sunset? Where anon? It will be at the sunrise. What's to blame? Is it so helpful to thee? Canst thou take the mimic up, nor for the true thing's sake put gently by such efforts at a beam? Is the remainder of the way so long, thou needst the little solace, thou the strong? Watch out thy watch, let weak ones doze and dream. Ah, but the fresher faces, is it true? Thou'lt ask, some eyes are beautiful and new, some hair, how can one choose, but grasp such wealth? And if a man would press his lips to lips, fresh as the wilding hedgerows cup there slips, the dewdrop out of, must it be by stealth? It cannot change the love still kept for her, more than if such a picture I prefer, passing a day with, to a room's bare side, the painted form takes nothing she possessed. Yet while the Titian's Venus lies at rest, a man looks, once more, what is there to chide? So must I see, from where I sit and watch, my own self sell myself, my hand attach its warrant to the very thefts from me. Thy singleness of soul that made me proud, thy purity of heart I loved aloud, thy man's truth I was bold to bid God see. Love so, then if thou wilt, give all thou canst away to the new faces disentranced. Say it and think it, obdurate no more. Reissue looks and words from the old mint. Pass them afresh, no matter whose the print. Image and superscription once they bore. Recoin thyself and give it them to spend. It all comes to the same thing at the end. Since mine thou wast, mine art and mine shalt be, faithful or faithless, sealing up the sum or lavish of my treasure, thou must come back to the heart's place, here I keep for thee. Only why should it be with stain at all? Why must I, twixt the leaves of coronal, put any kiss of pardon on thy brow? Why need the other women know so much, and talk together? Such the look, and such the smiles he used to love with, then as now. Might I die last and show thee, should I find such hardship in the few years left behind, if free to take and light my lamp, and go into thy tomb, and shut the door and sit, seeing thy face on those 4 sides of it, the better that they are so blank, I know. Why, time was what I wanted, to turn o'er within my mind each look, get more and more, by heart each word, too much to learn at first, and join thee all the fitter for the pause, neath the low doorway's lintel, that were cause for lingering, though thou calledst, if I durst. And yet thou art the nobler of us two. What dare I dream of, that thou canst not do, outstripping my 10 small steps with one stride? I'll say then, here's a trial and a task. Is it to bear? If easy, I'll not ask. Though love fail, I can trust on in thy pride. Pride, when those eyes forestall the life behind, the death I have to go through, when I find, now that I want thy help most, all of thee, what did I fear? Thy love shall hold me fast, until the little minutes sleep is past, and I wake saved, and yet it will not be. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
The Lost Mistress by Robert Browning. Read for LibriVox.org by Alan Lawley. It's all over, then. Does truth sound bitter, as one at first believes? Hark! 'Tis the sparrows, good night twitter, about your cottage eaves, and the leaf buds on the vine are woolly. I noticed that today. One day more bursts them open fully. You know, the red turns grey. Tomorrow we meet the same then, dearest. May I take your hand in mine? Mere friends are we. Well, friends, the merest, keep much that I resign. For each glance of the eyes so bright and black, though I keep with heart's endeavour your voice when you wish the snowdrops back, though it stay in my soul forever. Yet I will but say what mere friends say, or only a thought stronger. I will hold your hand but as long as all may, or so very little longer. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
One Way to Love by Robert Browning. Read for LibriVox.org by Larry Wilson. All June I bound the rose in sheaves. Now rose by rose I strip the leaves, and strew them where Pauline may pass. She will not turn aside, alas. Let them lie. Suppose they die. The chance was they might take her eye. How many a month I strove to suit these stubborn fingers to the lute. Today I venture all I know. She will not hear my music, so break the string, fold music's wing. Suppose Pauline had bade me sing. My whole life long I learned to love. This hour my utmost art I prove, and speak my passion, heaven or hell. She will not give me heaven. 'Tis well. Lose who may, I still can say, those who win heaven, blessed are they. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
A Pretty Woman by Robert Browning. Read for LibriVox.org by Alan Lawley. That fawn-skin dappled hair of hers, and the blue eye, dear and dewy, and that infantine fresh air of hers. To think men cannot take you, sweet, and enfold you, ay, and hold you, and so keep you what they make you, sweet. You like us for a glance, you know, for a word's sake, or a sword's sake, all's the same, whate'er the chance, you know. And in turn we make you ours, we say, you and youth too, eyes and mouth too, all a face composed of flowers, we say, all's our own to make the most of sweet, sing and say for, watch and pray for, keep a secret or go boast of, sweet. But for you, why you would not, sweet, though we prayed you, paid you, prayed you, in a mortar for you could not, sweet. So we leave the sweet face fondly there, be its beauty, its sole duty, let all hope of grace beyond lie there. And while the face lies quite there, who shall wonder that I ponder a conclusion? I would try it there. As, why must one, for the love foregone, scout mere liking, thunder striking, earth, the heaven we looked above for, gone? Why, with beauty needs there money be, love with liking, crush the fly king in his gauze because no honey be? May not liking be so simple sweet? If love grew there, 'twould undo there all that breaks the cheek to dimples sweet. Is the creature too imperfect, say? Would you mend it, and so end it, since not all addition perfects A? Or is it of its kind, perhaps, just perfection, whence rejection of a grace not to its mind, perhaps? Shall we burn up, tread that face at once into tinder, and so hinder sparks from kindling all the place at once? Or else kiss away one soul on her, your love fancies a sick man sees, truer when his hot eyes roll on her? Thus the craftsman thinks to grace the rose, plucks a mould flower for his gold flower, uses fine things that efface the rose. Rosy rubies make its cup more rose, precious metals ape the petals, last some old king locks it up, morose. Then how grace a rose, I know a way, leave it rather, must you gather, smell, kiss, wear it, at last throw away. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Parting at Morning by Robert Browning. Read for LibriVox.org by Deborah Beach Giordano. Round the cape of a sudden came the sea, and the sun looked over the mountain's rim, and straight was the path of gold for him, and the need of a world of men for me. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
In 3 Days by Robert Browning. Read for LibriVox.org by Tim Rowe. So I shall see her in 3 days, and just one night, but nights are short. Then 2 long hours, and that is morn. See how I come unchanged, unworn. Feel where my life broke off from thine. How fresh the splinters keep and fine, only a touch, and we combine. Too long this time of year the days, but nights at least, the nights are short. As night shows where her one moon is, a hand's breadth of pure light and bliss, so life's night gives my lady birth, and my eyes hold her. What is worth the rest of heaven, the rest of earth? O loaded curls, release your store of warmth and scent, as once before the tingling hair did lights and darks, outbreaking into fairy sparks, when under curl and curl I pried after the warmth and scent inside. Through lights and darks, how manifold! The dark inspired, the light controlled, as early art embrows the gold. What great fear, should one say, 3 days that change the world might change as well your fortune, and if joy delays, be happy that no worse befell. What small fear if another says, 3 days and 1 short night beside may throw no shadow on your ways, but years must teem with change untried, with chance not easily defied, with an end somewhere undescried. No fear, or if a fear be born, this minute it dies out in scorn. Fear? I shall see her in 3 days, and 1 night, now the nights are short, then just 2 hours, and that is morn. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
In a Gondola by Robert Browning. Read for LibriVox.org by Alan Mapstone. He sings. Past we glide, and past and past. What's that poor Agnesi doing where they make the shutters fast? Grey Zenobi's just a-wooing to his couch the purchased bride. Past we glide. Past we glide, and past and past. Why's the Pucci Palace flaring like a beacon to the blast? Guests by hundred, not one caring if the dear host's neck were wryed. Past we glide. She sings. The moth's kiss first. Kiss me as if you made believe you were not sure this eve how my face your flower had pursed its petals up, so here and there you brush it till I grow aware who wants me, and wide ope I burst. The bee's kiss now. Kiss me as if you entered gay my heart at some noonday, a bud that dares not disallow the claim, so all is rendered up, and passively its shattered cup over your head to sleep I bow. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Misconceptions by Robert Browning. Read for LibriVox.org by Jamie Nommensen. This is a spray the bird clung to, making it blossom with pleasure, ere the high tree top she sprung to, fit for her nest and her treasure. Oh, what a hope beyond measure was the poor sprays, which the flying feet hung to, so to be singled out, built in, and sung to. This is a heart the queen leant on, thrilled in a minute erratic, ere the true bosom she bent on, meet for love's regal dalmatic. Oh, what a fancy ecstatic was the poor heart's, ere the wanderer went on, love to be saved for it, proffered to, spent on. End of poem. This recording is public domain.
Poetics by Robert Browning. Read for LibriVox.org by Alan Lawley. From Asolando, Fancies and Facts. So say the foolish so, love. Flower she is, my rose, or else my very swan is she. Or perhaps yon maiden moon, blessing earth below, love. That art thou, to them belike. No such vain words from me. Hush, rose, blush, no balm like breath. I chide it, bend thy neck, its best swan, hers the whiter curve. Be the moon, my love, I place beside it. What is she? Her human self, no lower word, will serve. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. Summum Bonum by Robert Browning. Read for LibriVox.org by Alan Lawley. From Asalando, Fancies and Facts. All the breath and the bloom of the year in the bag of one bee, all the wonder and wealth of the mine in the heart of one gem, in the core of one pearl, all the shade and the shine of the sea, breath and bloom, shade and shine, wonder, wealth and, how far above them, truth that's brighter than gem, trust that's purer than pearl, brightest truth, purest trust in the universe, all were for me in the kiss of one girl. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
A Man's Requirements by Elizabeth Barrett Browning. Read for LibriVox.org by Tim Rowe. Love me, sweet, with all thou art, feeling, thinking, seeing. Love me in the lightest part. Love me in full being. Love me with thine open youth, in its frank surrender, with the vowing of thy mouth, with its silence tender. Love me with thine azure eyes, made for earnest granting, taking colour from the skies. Can heaven's truth be wanting? Love me with their lids that fall snow-like at first meeting. Love me with thine heart that all neighbours then see beating. Love me with thine hand stretched out, freely, open-minded. Love me with thy loitering foot, hearing one behind it. Love me with thy voice that turns sudden faint above me. Love me with thy blush that burns when I murmur, love me. Love me with thy thinking soul, break it to love sighing. Love me with thy thoughts that roll on through living, dying. Love me in thy gorgeous airs, when the world has crowned thee. Love me kneeling at thy prayers with the angels round thee. Love me pure, as muses do, upon the woodlands shady. Love me gaily, fast and true, as a winsome lady, through all hopes that keep us brave, farther off or nigher. Love me for the house and grave, and for something higher. Thus, if thou wilt prove me dear, woman's love no fable, I will love thee half a year, as a man is able. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Question and Answer by Elizabeth Barrett Browning. Read for LibriVox.org by Alan Lawley. Love you seek for pre-proposes summer heat and summer glow. Tell me, do you find moss roses budding, blooming in the snow? Snow might kill the rose tree's root. Shake it quickly from your foot, lest it harm you as you go. From the ivy, where it dapples, a grey ruin, stone by stone. Do you look for grapes or apples, or for sad green leaves alone? Pluck the leaves off, 2 or 3, keep them for morality, when you shall be safe and gone. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Selection from Saisiaz by Robert Browning. Read for LibriVox.org by Larry Wilson. Good to forgive, best to forget. Living we fret, dying we live. Fretless and free, soul, clap thy pinion. Earth have dominion, body o'er thee. Wander at will, day after day, wander away, wandering still. Soul that canst soar. Body may slumber, body shall cumber, soul flight no more. Waft of soul's wing, what lies above? Sunshine and love, sky blue and spring. Body hides, where? Ferns of all feather, mosses and heather, yours be the care. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
James Lee's Wife Along the Beach by Robert Browning. Read for LibriVox.org by Alan Lawley. Oh love, love no, love not so indeed. You were just weak earth, I knew, with much in you waste, with many a weed, and plenty of passions run to seed, but a little good grain too. And such as you were, I took you for mine. Did not you find me yours, to watch the olive and wait the vine, and wonder when rivers of oil and wine would flow as the book assures? Well, and if none of these good things came, what did the failure prove? The man was my whole world, all the same, with his flowers to praise, or his weeds to blame, and either or both to love. Yet this turns now to a fault, there, that I do love, watch too long, and wait too well, and weary and wear, until all an old story, and my despair, fit subject for some new song. How the light love, he has wings to fly, at suspicion of a bond. My wisdom has bidden your pleasure goodbye, which would turn up next in a laughing eye. And why should you look beyond? End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Selection from Ferishtah's Fancies by Robert Browning. Read for LibriVox.org by Larry Wilson. Ask not one last word of praise. Words declare your eyes are bright. What then meant that summer day's silence spent in one long gaze? Was my silence wrong or right? Words of praise were all to seek. Face of you and form of you. Did they find the praise so weak when my lips just touched your cheek? Touch which let my soul come through. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Selection from ShrimpPhish Fancies by Robert Browning. Read for LibriVox.org by Alan Lawley. Round us the wild creatures, overhead the trees, underfoot the moss tracks, life and love with these. I to wear a fawn skin, thou to dress in flowers, all the long lone summer day, that greenwood life of ours. Rich pavilion, rather, still the world without, inside gold roof, silk walled, silence round about. Queen it thou on purple, I at watch and ward, couched beneath the columns, gaze thy slave, love's guard. So, for us no world, let throngs press thee to me, up and down amid men, heart by heart, fare we. Welcome squalid venture, harsh voice, hateful face. God is soul, souls I and thou, with souls should souls have place. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
James Lee's Wife Speaks at the Window by Robert Browning. Read for LibriVox.org by Lee Vogler. Ah, love, but a day and the world has changed. The sun's away and the bird estranged. The wind has dropped and the sky's deranged. Summer has stopped. Look in my eyes. Wilt thou change too? Should I fear surprise? Shall I find aught new in the old and dear, in the good and true, with the changing year? Thou art a man, but I am thy love. For the lake its swan, for the dell its dove. And for thee, oh haste, me to bend above, me to hold embraced. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Garden Fancies. The Flower's Name by Robert Browning. Read for LibriVox.org by Alan Lawley. Here's the garden she walked across, arm in my arm, such a short while since. Hark, now I push its wicket, the moss hinders the hinges and makes them wince. She must have reached this scrub ere she turned, as back with that murmur the wicket swung, for she laid the poor snail, my chance foot spurned, to feed and forget it, the leaves among. Down this side of the gravel walk she went while her rose edge brushed the box, and here she paused in her gracious talk to point me a moth on the milk-white phlox. Roses ranged in valiant row. I will never think that she passed you by. She loves you, noble roses, I know. But yonder, see, where the rock plants lie. This flower she stopped at, finger on lip, stooped over in doubt, as settling its claim, till she gave me, with pride to make no slip, its soft, meandering Spanish name. What a name! What is love or praise? Speech half asleep, or song half awake? I must learn Spanish one of these days, only for that slow, sweet name's sake. Roses, if I live and do well, I may bring her one of these days to fix you fast with as fine a spell, fit you each with his Spanish phrase. But do not detain me now, for she lingers there like sunshine over the ground, and ever I see her soft white fingers searching after the bud she found. Flower, you Spaniard, look that you grow not. Stay as you are, and be loved forever. Bud, if I kiss you, 'tis that you blow not. Mind, the shut pink mouth opens never, for while it pouts, her fingers wrestle, twinkling the audacious leaves behind, till round they turn and down they nestle, Is not the dear mark still to be seen? Where I find her not, beauties vanish. Whither I follow her, beauties flee. Is there no method to tell her in Spanish? June's twice June since she breathed it with me. Come, but show me the least of her traces. Treasure my lady's lightest footfall. Ah, you may flout and turn up your faces. Roses, you are not so fair after all. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
A Face by Robert Browning. Read for LibriVox.org by Veyn. If one could have that little head of hers painted upon a background of pale gold, such as the Tuscan's early art prefers, no shade encroaching on the matchless mould of those two lips, which should be opening soft in a pure profile, not as when she laughs, for that spoils all, but rather as if lofty yon hyacinth she loves so leaned its staff's burthen of honey-coloured buds to kiss and capture twixt the lips apart for this. Then her lithe neck 3 fingers might surround, how it should waver on the pale gold ground, up to the fruit-shaped perfect chin it lifts. I know Correggio loves to mass in rifts of heaven his angel faces, orb on orb, breaking its outline, burning shades absorb. But these are only massed there, I should think, waiting to see some wonder momently grow out, stand full, fade slow against the sky. That's the pale ground you'd see this sweet face by. All heaven, meanwhile, condensed into one eye, which fears to lose the wonder, should it wink. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Eurydice to Orpheus by Robert Browning. Read for LibriVox.org by Alan Mapstone. A picture by Leighton. But give them me, the mouth, the eyes, the brow. Let them once more absorb me. One look now will lap me round for ever, not to pass out of its light, though darkness lie beyond. Hold me but safe again within the bond of one immortal look. All woe that was forgotten, and all terror that may be defied. No past is mine, no future. Look at me. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Change Upon Change by Elizabeth Barrett Browning. Read for LibriVox.org by Mythili. 5 months ago the stream did flow, the lilies bloomed within the sedge, and we were lingering to and fro, where none will track thee in the snow, along the stream beside the hedge. Ah, sweet, be free to love and go. For if I do not hear thy foot, the frozen river is as mute. The flowers have dried down to the root, and why, since these be changed since May, shouldst thou change less than they? And slow, slow as the winter snow, the tears have drifted to mine eyes, and my poor cheeks 5 months ago, set blushing at thy praises so, put paleness on for a disguise. Ah, sweet, be free to praise and go. For if my face is turned too pale, it was thine oath that first did fail. It was thy love proved false and frail, and why, since these be changed enow, should I change less than thou? End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
The Best Thing in the World by Elizabeth Barrett Browning. Read for LibriVox.org by Bruce Kachuk. What's the best thing in the world? June rose by May dew impearled, sweet south wind that means no rain, truth not cruel to a friend, pleasure not in haste to end, beauty not self-decked and curled till its pride is overplain, light that never makes you wink, memory that gives no pain, love when so you're loved again. What's the best thing in the world? Something out of it, I think. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Life and Love by Elizabeth Barrett Browning. Read for LibriVox.org by ShrimpPhish. 1. Fast this life of mine was dying, blind already and calm as death, snowflakes on her bosom lying, scarcely heaving with her breath. 2. Love came by, and having known her in a dream of fabled lands, gently stooped and laid upon her mystic chrism of holy hands. 3. Drew his smile across her folded eyelids as the swallow dips, breathed as finely as the cold did through the locking of her lips. 4. So, when life looked upward, being warmed and breathed on from above, what sight could she have foreseeing evermore but only love? End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
My Heart and I by Elizabeth Barrett Browning. Read for LibriVox by Deborah Beach Giordano. Enough! We're tired, my heart and I. We sit beside the headstone thus, and wish that name were carved for us. The moss reprints more tenderly the hard types of the mason's knife, as heaven's sweet life renews earth's life, with which we're tired, my heart and I. You see, we're tired, my heart and I. We dealt with books, we trusted men, and in our own blood drenched the pen, as if such colors could not fly. We walked too straight for fortune's end. We loved too true to keep a friend. At last we're tired, my heart and I. How tired we feel, my heart and I. We seem of no use in the world. Our fancies hang gray and uncurled about men's eyes indifferently. Our voice which thrilled you so will let you sleep. Our tears are only wet. What do we do here, my heart and I? So tired, my heart and I. It was not thus in that old time, when Rafe sat with me 'neath the lime, to watch the sunset from the sky. Dear love, you're looking tired, he said. I, smiling at him, shook my head. 'Tis now we're tired, my heart and I. So tired, my heart and I, though now none takes me on his arm, to fold me close and kiss me warm, till each quick breath end in a sigh of happy languor. Now, alone, we lean upon this graveyard stone, uncheered, unkissed, my heart and I. Tired out are we, my heart and I. Suppose the world brought diadems to tempt us, crusted with loose gems of powers and pleasures. Oh, let it try. We scarcely care to look at even a pretty child, or God's blue heaven. we feel so tired, my heart and I. Yet who complains, my heart and I? In this abundant earth, no doubt, is little room for things worn out. Disdain them, break them, throw them by. And if before the days grew rough, we once were loved, used, well enough, I think, we fared, my heart and I. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
A False Step by Elizabeth Barrett Browning. Read for LibriVox.org by Alan Lawley. Sweet thou hast trod on a heart, past there's a world full of men, and women as fair as thou art must do such things now and then. Thou only hast stepped unaware, malice not one can impute, and why should a heart have been there in the way of a fair woman's foot? It was not a stone that could trip, nor was it a thorn that could rend. Put up thy proud under lip, 'twas merely the heart of a friend. And yet, peradventure, one day, thou sitting alone at the glass, remarking the bloom gone away, where the smile in its implement was, and seeking around thee in vain from hundreds who flattered before, such a word as, "Oh, not in the main do I hold thee less precious, but more," thou it sigh, very like, on thy part, "Of all I have known, or can know, I wish I had only that heart I trod upon years ago." End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
My Kate by Elizabeth Barrett Browning. Read for LibriVox.org by Cajucom. She was not as pretty as women I know, and yet all your best made of sunshine and snow. Drop to shade, melt to naught in the long-trodden ways, while she still remembered on warm and cold days. My Kate. Her air had a meaning, her movements a grace. You turned from the fairest to gaze on her face, and when you had once seen her forehead and mouth, you saw as distinctly her soul and her truth. My Kate. Such a blue inner light from her eyelids outbroke. You looked at her silence and fancied she spoke. When she did, so peculiar yet soft was the tone, though the loudest spoke also, you heard her alone. My Kate. I doubt if she said to you much that could act as a thought or suggestion. She did not attract. In the sense of the brilliant or wise, I infer, 'twas her thinking of others made you think of her. My Kate. She never found fault with you, never implied you're wrong by her right, and yet men at her side grew nobler, girls purer, as through the whole town the children were gladder that pulled at her gown. My Kate. None knelt at her feet, confessed lovers in thrall. They knelt more to God than they used, that was all. If you praised her as charming, some asked what you meant, but the charm of her presence was felt when she went. My Kate. The weak and the gentle, the ribald and rude, she took as she found them, and did them all good. It always was so with her. See what you have. She has made the grass greener, even here, with her grave. My Kate. My dear one, when thou wast alive with the rest, I held thee the sweetest and loved thee the best. And now thou art dead, shall I not take thy part, as thy smiles used to do for thyself, my sweet heart? My Kate. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
The Romance of the Swan's Nest by Elizabeth Barrett Browning. Read for LibriVox.org by Alan Mapstone. Little Ellie sits alone mid the beeches of a meadow, by a stream side on the grass, and the trees are showering down doubles of their leaves in shadow on her shining hair and face. She has thrown her bonnet by, and her feet she has been dipping in the shallow water's flow. Now she holds them nakedly in her hands, all sleek and dripping, while she rocketh to and fro. Little Ellie sits alone, and the smile she softly uses fills the silence like a speech, while she thinks what shall be done, and the sweetest pleasure chooses for her future within reach. Little Ellie in her smile chooses, I will have a lover, riding on a steed of steeds. He shall love me without guile, and to him I will discover the swan's nest among the reeds. And the steed shall be red roan, and the lover shall be noble, with an eye that takes the breath. And the lute he plays upon shall strike ladies into trouble, as his sword strikes men to death. And the steed it shall be shod all in silver, housed in azure, and the mane shall swim the wind. And the hooves along the sod shall flash onward and keep measure, till the shepherds look behind. But my lover will not prize all the glory that he rides in, when he gazes in my face. He will say, O love, thine eyes build the shrine my soul abides in, and I kneel here for thy grace. Then he shall kneel low, with the red-roan steed anear him, which shall seem to understand, till I answer, rise and go, for the world must love and fear him, whom I gift with heart and hand. Then he will arise so pale, I shall feel my own lips tremble with a yes I must not say. Natheless, maiden brave, farewell, I will utter and dissemble lights tomorrow with today. Then he'll ride among the hills to the wide world past the river, there to put away all wrong, to make straight distorted wills, and to empty the broad quiver which the wicked bear along. 3 times shall a young foot-page swim the stream and climb the mountain, and kneel down beside my feet. Lo, my master sends this gage, lady, for thy pity's counting. What wilt thou exchange for it? And the first time I will send a white rosebud for a guerdon, and the second time a glove. But the third time I may bend from my pride and answer, pardon, if he comes to take my love. Then the young foot-page will run, then my lover will ride faster, till he kneeleth at my knee. I am a duke's eldest son, 1,000 serfs do call me master, but, O love, I love but thee. He will kiss me on the mouth then, and lead me as a lover through the crowds that praise his deeds. And when soul-tied by one troth, unto him I will discover that swan's nest among the reeds. Little Ellie with her smile not yet ended rose up gaily, tied the bonnet, donned the shoe, and went homeward round a mile, just to see, as she did daily, what more eggs were with the two. Pushing through the elm-tree copse, winding up the stream light-hearted, where the osier pathway leads, past the boughs she stoops and stops. Lo, the wild swan had deserted, and a rat had gnawed the reeds. Ellie went home sad and slow. If she found the lover ever, with his red-roan steed of steeds, sooth I know not, but I know she could never show him, never, that swan's nest among the reeds. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. Prologue from Pacchiarotto by Robert Browning. Read for LibriVox.org by Alan Mapstone. Oh, the old wall here! How I could pass life in a long midsummer day, my feet confined to a plot of grass, my eyes from a wall not once away. And lush and lithe do the creepers clothe yon wall I watch with a wealth of green, its bold red bricks draped nothing loath, in lappets of tangle they laugh between. Now what is it makes pulsate the robe? Why tremble the sprays? What life o'erbrims the body? The house no eye can probe, divined as, beneath a robe, the limbs. And there again, but my heart may guess, who tripped behind, and she sang perhaps. So the old wall throbbed, and its life's excess died out and away in the leafy wraps. Wall upon wall are between us, life and song should away from heart to heart. I, prison bird, with a ruddy strife at breast, and a lip whence storm notes start. Hold on, hope hard in the subtle thing that's spirit, though cloistered fast, soar free. Account as wood, brick, stone this ring of the rueful neighbours, and forth to thee. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Love by Elizabeth Barrett Browning. Read for LibriVox.org by Bruce Kachuk. We cannot live except thus mutually. We alternate, aware or unaware, the reflex act of life. And when we bear our virtue outward most impulsively, most full of invocation, and to be most instantly compellent, certes there we live most life, whoever breathes most air, and counts his dying years by sun and sea. But when a soul by choice and conscience doth throw out her full force on another soul, the conscience and the concentration both make mere life love. For life in perfect whole, and aim consummated, is love in sooth, as nature's magnet heat rounds pole with pole. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Proof and Disproof by Elizabeth Barrett Browning. Read for LibriVox.org by Faith Abiola-Ellison. Dost thou love me, my beloved? Who shall answer yes or no? What is proved or disproved when my soul inquireth so? Dost thou love me, my beloved? I have seen thy heart today, never open to the crowd, while to love me, A, was the vow as it was vowed by thine eyes of steadfast grey. Now I sit alone, and the hot tears break and burn. Now, beloved, thou art gone, doubt and terror have their turn. Is it love that I have known? I have known some bitter things, anguish, anger, solitude. Year by year an evil brings, year by year denies a good. March winds violate my springs. I have known how sickness bends, I have known how sorrow breaks, how quick hopes have sudden ends, how the heart thinks till it aches of the smile of buried friends. Last, I have known thee, my brave, noble thinker, lover, doer, the best knowledge, last I have. But thou comest as the thrower of fresh flowers upon a grave. Count what feelings used to move me. Can this love assort with those? Thou, who art so far above me, wilt thou stoop so for repose? Is it true that thou canst love me? Do not blame me if I doubt thee. I can call love by its name when thine arm is wrapped about me, but even love seems not the same when I sit alone without thee. In thy clear eyes I descried many a proof of love today, but tonight those unbelied speechful eyes being gone away, there's the proof to seek beside. Dost thou love me, my beloved? Only thou canst answer yes, and thou gone, proof's disproved, and the cry rings answerless. Dost thou love me, my beloved? End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Loved Once by Elizabeth Barrett Browning. Read for LibriVox.org by Frank Cook. I clasped, appraising once, earth's lamentable sounds, the well-a-day, the jarring yea and nay, the fall of kisses on unanswering clay, the sobbed farewell, the welcome mournfuller. But all did leaven the air, with a less bitter leaven of sure despair, than these words, I loved once. And who saith, I loved once? Not angels, whose clear eyes love foresee, love through eternity, and by to love do not apprehend to be. Not God, called love, his notable crown name casting, a light too broad for blasting. The great God, changing not from everlasting, saith never, I loved once. Oh, never is loved once, thy word, thou victim Christ, misprized friend, thy cross and curse may rend, but having loved, thou lovest to the end. This is man's saying, man's too weak to move. O sphered stars above, man desecrates the eternal God-word love by his no more and once. How say ye, we loved once, blasphemers? Is your earth not cold enow, mourners, without that snow? Ah, friends, and would ye wrong each other so? And could ye say of some whose love is known, whose prayers have met your own, whose tears have fallen for you, whose smiles have shone, so long, we loved them once? Could ye, we loved her once, say calm of me, sweet friends, when out of sight, when hearts of better right stand in between me and your happy light? Or when, as flowers kept too long in the shade, ye find my colors fade, and all that is not love in me decayed? Such words, ye loved me once. Could ye, we loved her once, say cold of me when further put away in earth's sepulchral clay, when mute the lips which deprecate today? Not so, not then, least then, when life is shriven and death's full joy is given. Of those who sit and love you up in heaven, say not, we loved them once. Say never ye loved once. God is too near above, the grave beneath, and all our moments breathe, to quicken mysteries of life and death, for such a word. The eternities avenge, affection's light of range. There comes no change to justify that change. Whatever comes, loved once. And yet that same word once is humanity's acceptive. Kings have said, shaking a discrowned head, we ruled once, dotards, we taught and led. Cripples once danced I the vines, and bards approved, were once by scornings moved. But love strikes 1 hour. Love, those never loved, who dreamed that they loved once. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
A Lady's Yes by Elizabeth Barrett Browning. Read for LibriVox.org by Faith Abiola-Ellison. Yes, I answered you last night. No, this morning, sir, I say. Colours seen by candlelight will not look the same by day, when the viols played their best, lamps above and laughs below. Love me sounded like a jest, fit for yes, or fit for no. Call me false, or call me free. Thou, whatever light may shine, no man on your face shall see any grief for change on mine. Yet the sin is on us both. Time to dance is not to woo. Wooing light makes fickle troth. Scorn on me recoils on you. Learn to win a lady's faith nobly, as the thing is high, bravely, as for life and death, with a loyal gravity. Lead her from the festive boards, point her to the starry skies, guard her by your truthful words, pure from courtship's flatteries. By your truth she shall be true, ever true as wives of yore, and her yes, once said to you, shall be yes for evermore. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
That Day by Elizabeth Barrett Browning. Read for LibriVox.org. I stand by the river where both of us stood, and there is but one shadow to darken the flood, and the path leading to it where both used to pass, as the step of but one to take dew from the grass. One forlorn since that day. The flowers of the margin are many to see. None stoops at my bidding to pluck them for me. The bird in the alder sings loudly and long. My low sound of weeping disturbs not his song, as thou vow did that day. I stand by the river, I think of the vow. O calm as the place is, vow-breaker, be thou. I leave the flower growing, the bird unreproved. Would I trouble thee rather than them, my beloved, and my lover, that day? Go, be sure of my love, by that treason forgiven, of my prayers, by the blessings they win thee from heaven, of my grief, guess the length of the sword by the sheaths, by the silence of life, more pathetic than death's. Go, be clear of that day. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. Noon by Robert Browning. Read for LibriVox.org. From Pipa Passus, Pipa singing. Give her but a least excuse to love me. When, where, how can this arm establish her above me? If fortune fixed her as my lady there already to eternally reprove me. Hist, said Kate the queen. But oh, cried the maiden, binding her tresses, 'tis only a page that carols unseen, crumbling your hounds their messes. Is she wronged? To the rescue of her honor, my heart? Is she poor? What costs it to be styled a donor? Merely an earth to cleave, a sea to part, but that fortune should have thrust all this upon her. Nay, list, bade Kate the queen, and still cried the maiden, binding her tresses, 'tis only a page that carols unseen, fitting your hawks their jesses. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. Amy's Cruelty by Elizabeth Barrett Browning. Read for LibriVox.org. Fair Amy of the terraced house, assist me to discover why you who would not hurt a mouse could torture so your lover. You give your coffee to the cat, you stroke the dog for coming, and all your face grows kinder at the little brown bee's humming. But when he haunts your door, the town marks coming and marks going. You seem to have stitched your eyelids down to that long piece of sewing. You never give a look, not you, nor drop him a good morning, to keep his long day warm and blue, so fretted by your scorning. She shook her head. The mouse and bee for crumb or flower will linger. The dog is happy at my knee. The cat purrs at my finger. But to him, the least thing given means great things at a distance. He wants my world, my sun, my heaven, soul, body, whole existence. They say love gives as well as takes, but I am a simple maiden. My mother's first smile when she wakes I still have smiled and prayed in. I only know my mother's love, which gives all and asks nothing, and this new loving sets the groove too much the way of loathing. Unless he gives me all in change, I forfeit all things by him. The risk is terrible and strange. I tremble, doubt, deny him. He's sweetest friend or hardest foe, best angel or worst devil. I either hate or love him so. I can't be merely civil. You trust a woman who puts forth her blossoms thick as summers? You think she dreams what love is worth, who casts it to newcomers? Such love's a cowslip ball to fling, a moment's pretty pastime. I give all me, if anything, the first time and the last time. dear neighbor of the trellised house, a man should murmur never, though treat it worse than dog and mouse, till doted on, forever. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
A Denial by Elizabeth Barrett Browning. Read for LibriVox.org by Alan Mapstone. We have met late. It is too late to meet, O friend, not more than friend. Death's forecome shroud is tangled round my feet, and if I step or stir, I touch the end. In this last jeopardy, can I approach thee, I who cannot move? How shall I answer thy request for love? Look in my face and see. I love thee not, I dare not love thee. Go in silence, drop my hand. If thou seek roses, seek them where they blow, in garden alleys, not in desert sand. Can life and death agree that thou shouldst stoop thy song to my complaint? I cannot love thee. If the word is faint, look in my face and see. I might have loved thee in some former days. Oh, then my spirits had leapt, as now they sink at hearing thy love praise. Before these faded cheeks were overwept, had this been asked of me, to love thee with my whole strong heart and head, I should have said still, yes, but smiled and said, look in my face and see. But now God sees me, God, who took my heart and drowned it in life's surge. In all your wide warm earth I have no part. A light song overcomes me like a dirge. Could love's great harmony the saints keep step to when their bonds are loose, not weigh me down? Am I a wife to choose? Look in my face and see. While I behold, as plain as one who dreams, some woman of full worth, whose voice, as cadenced as a silver stream's, shall prove the fountain soul which sends it forth. One younger, more thought-free, and fair and gay than I, thou must forget, with brighter eyes than these, which are not wet. Look in my face and see. So farewell thou, whom I have known too late, to let thee come so near. Be counted happy while men call thee great, and one beloved woman feels thee dear. Not I, that cannot be. I am lost, I am changed, I must go further, where the change shall take me worse, and no one dare look in my face and see. Meantime I bless thee. By these thoughts of mine I bless thee from all such. I bless thy lamp to oil, thy cup to wine, thy hearth to joy, thy hand to an equal touch of loyal troth. For me, I love thee not, I love thee not, away. Here's no more courage in my soul to say, look in my face and see. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. A Woman's Shortcomings by Elizabeth Barrett Browning. Read for LibriVox.org by Alan Mapstone. She had laughed as softly as if she sighed. She had counted 6 and over, of a purse well filled and a heart well tried, oh, each a worthy lover. They give her time, for her soul must slip where the world has set the grooving. She will lie to none with her fair red lip, but love seeks truer loving. She trembles her fan in a sweetness dumb, as her thoughts were beyond recalling. With a glance for one, and a glance for some, from her eyelids rising and falling. Speaks common words with a blushful air, hears bold words unreproving, but her silence says what she never will swear, and love seeks better loving. Go, lady, lean to the night guitar, and drop a smile to the bringer. Then smile as sweetly when he is far at the voice of an indoor singer. Bask tenderly beneath tender eyes, glance lightly on their removing, and join new vows to old perjuries, but dare not call it loving. Unless you can think when the song is done, no other is soft in the rhythm, unless you can feel when left by one, that all men else go with him, unless you can know when unpraised by his breath, that your beauty itself wants proving, unless you can swear for life or death, oh, fear to call it loving. Unless you can muse in a crowd all day on the absent face that fixed you, unless you can love as the angels may, with the breadth of heaven betwixt you, unless you can dream that his faith is fast, through behoving and unbehoving, unless you can die when the dream is past, oh, never call it loving. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Inclusions by Elizabeth Barrett Browning. Read for LibriVox.org by Frank Cook. Oh, wilt thou have my hand, dear, to lie along in thine? As a little stone in a running stream, it seems to lie and pine. Now drop the poor pale hand, dear, unfit to plight with thine. Oh, wilt thou have my cheek, dear, drawn closer to thine own? My cheek is white, my cheek is worn, by many a tear run down. Now leave a little space, dear, lest it should wet thine own. Oh, must thou have my soul, dear, commingled with thy soul? Red grows the cheek, and warm the hand, the part is in the whole. Nor hands nor cheeks keep separate, when soul is joined to soul. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
May's Love by Elizabeth Barrett Browning. Read for LibriVox.org by Jennie Duke. You love all, you say, round, beneath, above me. Find me then some way better than to love me. Me too, dearest May. O world-kissing eyes, which the blue heavens melt to, I, sad, overwise, loathe the sweet looks dealt to all things, men and flies. You love all, you say, therefore, dear, abate me, just your love, I pray. Shut your eyes and hate me, only me, fair May. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Insufficiency by Elizabeth Barrett Browning. Read for LibriVox.org by Alan Mapstone. There is no one beside thee, and no one above thee. Thou standest alone as the nightingale sings, and my words that would praise thee are impotent things, for none can express thee, though all should approve thee. I love thee so, dear, that I only can love thee. Say, what can I do for thee? Weary thee, grieve thee? Lean on thy shoulder, new burdens to add? Weep my tears over thee, making thee sad? Oh, hold me not, love me not, let me retrieve thee. I love thee so, dear, that I only can leave thee. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. End of Love Songs by Robert Browning and Elizabeth Barrett Browning.